You're listening to Miskin Radio.
Hi, I'm Talea Harding, and this is Rock Revolution on Miskin, soon to be rebranded to AMP Radio. So this is going to be a very special episode. This is my first episode, so please bear with me. This is going to be specifically on queer rock, because queer representation in general is still really important, but specifically in the rock community, because especially with like heavy metal and things like that, it's seen as quite masculine or aggressive, which is kind of the opposite of what lots of people see being queer is. But I just want to open up a lovely new world of queer rock artists to you. Some you may have heard of, some it's whole bands, and some you may know the band but may not know that they're queer. So I want to know what your favourite queer rock artists are. So for me, I've got the Oozes, I've got Girl in Red, because nowadays her music is slightly more indie rock, and I've got Gender Crisis. So I want to know what your favourite queer rock artists are. Also, let me know what your favourite rock concert experience was. And for a little feature I'm doing later on, send messages in and tell me what your favourite Green Day song is. So that's to Talea_H_NKC Media on Instagram. So it's TALEA_H_NKC Media on Instagram. So speaking of Girl in Red, she's a huge lesbian icon in the music world. So I'm going to kick us off with one of her songs off If I Could Make It Go Quiet. So here is Body and Mind.
I've been in the deep end since I realized there is a difference between body and mind. I've been at my lowest for the longest time, knowing my existence is not one of a kind. But I've had my deepest cries, for now my heart's out, my guard's down. Yeah, I've had my deepest cries, for now my heart's out, my guard's down. I've been seeking solace in the strangest of things, getting my hands dirty while I beat out the kinks. I've been chasing everything that makes me feel cold. Practicing self-love is something I don't really know. So I suppose I cannot live like this no more, feeling a lifetime with the remorse. I'm closing up the void, but I've had my deepest cries, for now my heart's out, my guard's down. Yeah, I've had my deepest cries, for now my heart's out, my guard's down. Been in the deep end since I realized there is a difference between body and mind. If I could make it go quiet inside, get some rest from my weary eyes. Tonight I'm giving my all for a remedy, grant myself serenity. But if I don't leave it all behind, but I've had my deepest cries, for now my heart's out, my guard's down. Yeah, I've had my deepest cries, for now my heart's out, my guard's down.
North Kent's community station, Miskin Radio.
So that was Body and Mind by Girl in Red. So this is Miskin, soon to be AMP Radio, and I'm Talea Harding, your host of Rock Revolution. And we're looking at queer rock, all kinds of queer rock. So let's get into it. So we've actually had a response already. This is from Angie from Strood, and she says, my favourite queer artist has to be Freddie Mercury for rock, and I also love George Michael. George is iconic, and so is Freddie. For those who don't know, Freddie Mercury was from Queen. He is an iconic queer person in the rock community and just in general. When he came out, he was just so unwilling to justify his sexuality and explain himself because he just wanted to be authentically himself. And I think that's very brave, especially back in the 80s, especially as with the AIDS crisis and how he unfortunately suffered in the AIDS crisis. I think he was just so unapologetically himself, which is still very, very brave to do. So, Queen, one of my favourite songs is Stone Cold Crazy. So, here's Stone Cold Crazy. And that was Stone Cold Crazy by Queen, which is, like I said, one of my favourite Queen songs. So, with queer rock, there's obviously still so many different subgenres. And one band I'd like to talk about is The Runaways. Now, you may not have heard of them, but I'm assuming most people here have heard of Joan Jett. From the Black Hearts, she did I Love Rock and Roll. Pretty iconic. She was actually a part of this band, The Runaways, when she was a teenager. She was about, I'd say, 17. And it was her band before she went solo and then joined the Black Hearts. And in her 2016 memoir, Lita Ford, who was also in the band, said that all bar one, which was her, of the Runaways, identified as queer. And obviously nowadays, Joan Jett has really, really owned her queerness. She has amazing tattoos of like crossed over axes, which form the two female symbols crossed together. So yeah, she just completely owns her queerness again, has been very open about it. And I think the Runaways are so brilliant, and they were really ahead of their time with their music as a group of young women creating quite heavy rock, which back in the day, it was a lot more of a male rock band thing. So yeah, I mean, they're brilliant. And I really, really wanted to play one of their songs. So I managed to wrangle it in, and this is Rock and Roll by The Runaways.
Miskin Radio. Turn it up.
Ziggy played guitar, jamming good with Weird and Gilly and the Spiders from Mars. He played it left hand, but made it too far. Became the special man, then we were Ziggy's band. Ziggy really sang, screwed up eyes and screwed down hairdo, like some cat from Japan. He could lick 'em by smiling, he could leave 'em to hang. They came on so loaded, man, well hung in snow white tan. So where were the spiders while the fly tried to break our bones? But just the beer like to guide us. So we bitched about his fans and should we crush his sweet hands. Oh. jiving us that we were voodoo. The kids were just crass. He was the Nas with God-given ass. He took it all too far, but boy, could he play guitar. Making love with his ego. Ziggy sucked up into his mind, like a leper messiah. When the kids had killed a man, I had to break out the band. Oh yeah. Ziggy played guitar.
And that was Ziggy Stardust by the wonderful David Bowie, and before that, Rock and Roll by The Runaways. So this is Miskin, soon to be AMP Radio. I'm Talea Harding, and this is Rock Revolution, where we're going to be looking at all kinds of queer rock. So, David Bowie is another one where he was just so unapologetic about his identity. As much as people do joke that he's someone who's gotten straighter over time. But either way, however he identifies now or identified recently, used to identify, he really shows that sexuality is fluid. It can change. And he was also really, really unapologetic about how he presented himself, especially in the Ziggy Stardust era. Very glam rock, bright dyed hair, all the pale makeup with all the glitter, the jumpsuits. He was very, very androgynous, and again showing that gender presentation, sexuality, all of it was fluid, and it always is. And speaking of how he presented, there's one quote that really makes me giggle. He was in an interview back in the 70s. He was asked, "Are those men's shoes, women's shoes, or bisexual shoes?" in regard to a pair of like glittery heels he was wearing, and the brilliant David Bowie just looks at the interviewer and goes, "They're shoes, silly." And it's just such a great way of saying, why should you care? And that's what I think he was all about with his music and how he presented it. Was just, why should you care? I can look how I want, I can act how I want. And yeah, he was just outstanding, and I really wish I could have seen him live before he passed away a few years ago. But yeah, I mean, I'd argue he is a queer rock artist, even though lots of people would argue that it fluctuates. But I want to know who your favourite queer rock artist is. I also want to know what your favourite Green Day song is. And I want to know what your favourite rock experience was. Mine has to be when I saw the Oozes back in April last year. They're a London-centric queer punk band, and they protest through their music, just like how the original punk bands did, like XTC, Sex Pistols. They were anti-something, and they said it in their lyrics, and so do the Oozes. I saw them in Camden, in the Underworld, which is a lovely little alternative club, but they also have a venue around the back for gigs, and there were about 200 people there, but it felt like I was in a stadium concert. It was just so electric, and I remember just looking up. I was right at the front. I was just looking directly up at the bass player, and he was just like right in front of me, and it was amazing. And then I went temporarily deaf because I didn't have earplugs in, and I was right by their amp. But it was still an amazing experience. I think everyone should try and experience some small gigs, especially like heavy rock gigs, because it's just outstanding. And I got to meet Tom, their lead singer, afterwards as well, and got a photo with him, which was just also amazing. One thing that is also amazing is one of their newer songs called Ready. It is the only non-explicit song of theirs that I could find, which is mainly why I've chosen it, because there are other songs that I prefer by far, but Ready is still an outstanding song. So, here is Ready by the Oozes.
3, 2, 1, go! You're having a baby. Well done for that. You're gonna take care of the kids, and that is that. Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Are you ready? Are you ready for me? You don't mind the sex, but you mind the gender. And I am sorry for the fact that your child has a trans agenda. Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Go, 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 go! It's such a surprise! Surprise, 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 surprise! What a surprise! Surprise, 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 surprise! You're missing the sign! You're missing the sign! It's such a surprise! Surprise, 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 surprise! What a surprise! Surprise, 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 surprise! You're missing the sign! You missed all the signs! Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Are you ready? Ready? Are you ready for me?
All the best music, all in one place. Miskin Radio.
Songs on the back of my ultrasound, 'cause I'm ultrasound, I write ultrasounds, I go. I need pills to conceal my evil clouds, keep feet on the ground, avoid lost and found where I go. It's so fun to embody a merry-go-round, but please do surround, I'm here to astound you, though. If you swear not to take me to the impound, there is, I'll be a theatre in the round you'll go. Attention, thrumming of my crumbling. 'Cause I'll crumble and I'll crumble and I'll. Attention, thrumming of my crumbling. 'Cause I'll crumble and I'll crumble and I'll. Follow this way and we'll have a ball. Hey, no worries, Paul, it's a freedom for all. We'll go. I can't stop obsessing on my downfall, Mr. Know-it-all. I'm a cannonball, I'll go. Attention to the running of my crumbling. 'Cause I'll crumble and I'll crumble and I'll. Attention to the running of my crumbling. 'Cause I'll crumble and I'll crumble and I'll. Telling you these things, I'm not paranoid. I'll help you avoid the sting of the void no more. Trust in my instructions so you're not destroyed. I'm an asteroid. Oh no, don't call Freudy, go. I am still having fun. You know we've only just begun. I say no, who the f*** are you? You're not invited, nobody's sent you.
And that was Ultrasound by the Oozes. And before that was Ready, also by the Oozes, on Miskin, soon to be rebranded to AMP Radio. This is Rock Revolution. I'm Talea Harding, I'm your host for today, and we're looking at queer rock, all different kinds. So yeah, that was the Oozes. Like I said, heavy punk influence. You can hear that, especially in Ultrasound. And yeah, they really, really protest through their music. I can't say the title because it's a bit too explicit. but they have a song and it's very anti-Tory. They're heavily supportive of the transgender community, especially as not all of them in there are cisgender, which means you identify as the sex or gender that you were born as. And they're just so supportive and inclusive and really fight for the rights of minority groups in and outside of their music. And yeah, that gig was one of the best nights of my life. I'd never been to a small gig before, and I was worried about the crowds and being stood for so long and things like that. But just the atmosphere, I forgot where I was. I felt like I was just in the comfort of my own room listening to their music through headphones, when in reality they were there in front of me, like these amazing queer punk gods. And it was just outstanding. So I would heavily recommend, if you have the chance, go and see the Oozes, go to just a small rock gig and support small queer artists, because they still need the support and we need to help and give them all the support they deserve. Now, I actually have a comment here from someone who has said, my best rock concert experience was seeing Good Kid last summer. I got to see them and Bears in Trees as support. Good Kid have such a geeky, nerdy charm to them. There's such an inherent joy in moshing and screaming out something that means a lot to you in a crowd that knows exactly how you feel. So that was from Ty from Gravesend. Thank you very much. I completely know what you mean about the sort of being able to relate to everyone in the crowd, because you all love that music, you all support the artist, and a lot of it goes deeper than that. You can all relate to each other in more levels than just liking the music. So yeah, those sorts of gigs like that are amazing. And also, you mentioned Bears in Trees, and I don't really listen to them, but I've heard clips and they sound really good. So maybe I'll play some Bears in Trees on the next show when we're not doing like a special edition, because yeah, they do sound really, really good. Now, another queer band that is they've become my all-time favourites at the moment is another small band called Gender Crisis. They supported the Oozes at the Underworld, and I decided to not listen to any of the music for the support acts before I went to the gig, so I could discover new music and like really be there in person and present. And they came on stage and they just blew me away. Outstanding music. And yeah, they have now become one of my favourite bands because of this. So Gender Crisis are an up-and-coming post-hardcore band, and they have quite a unique metal sound. And their lyrics are just so... Their music in general, it comes from the soul, it comes from the heart. It's so full of anguish and such raw emotion. And it really feels like you're going through what they're going through when you listen to their songs. And they're actually really, really lovely. I got to meet them after their set before the Oozes came on. And I got a photo with them. They all signed a little scrap bit of paper I had at the bottom of my bag. And they were just genuinely so sweet. And I have also had the odd interaction on Instagram with them, because I posted my photos from that night and tagged the bands we saw. And they actually replied to my story saying, such lovely photos, so glad you had a great night. So they're just so genuinely lovely. And yeah, they're all openly queer, incredibly inclusive. They are currently supporting or hosting a fundraiser for their lead singer Rory for his top surgery. And they're also promoting the fundraiser for the Oozes Tom's top surgery as well, which I'm pretty sure is on February the 9th, that the charity concert they're holding. So I definitely want to try and get tickets to that. I don't know if they'll still be available or if it would have already happened by the time this comes out. But, you know, if you ever get a chance to see them, just in general, it's genuinely worth it. So one of the songs that really stood out to me when I first started listening to Gender Crisis is Dog Bite. It's just a beautiful, beautiful song. So here is Dog Bite by Gender Crisis.
Your only sin was giving in. Conceal, leave it with fear. Love like a dog bite. Love like a dog bite. Love like a dog bite. Love like a...
Miskin Radio.
I remember hearing that song a lot in my childhood. It's very, very nostalgic for me, which is just amazing, really. That was Judas Priest's Living After Midnight. Before that was Gender Crisis's Dog Bite on Miskin, soon-to-be AMP Radio. I'm Talea Harding, this is Rock Revolution, and I think I just need to slow down a bit. I'm so passionate about all this music, I'm getting a little bit tongue-tied, but life goes on. The show will go on, show must go on. Queen song, brilliant song, listen to it. So, yeah, Gender Crisis. If you liked that track before Judas Priest, then that is Gender Crisis, that is their sound. They're actually performing at Hootenanny Brixton on the 6th of March. So, yeah, if you enjoyed that last track, I'd really, really recommend going to see the band because it's such a brilliant experience. Oh, and we have a response coming in from Angie from Strood again. Thank you for supporting the show and tuning in. My favourite Green Day song has to be American Idiot. It's a classic. I mean, facts, true. What else can I say? American Idiot is a classic. It's brilliant. for most people, when you say Green Day, that's the first song that pops into their head. So keep on sending in your responses to Talia_H_NKC Media on Instagram. It's TALEA_H_NKC Media on Instagram. DM me or comment under the latest post, and who knows, you might hear your response read out tonight. So, one classic rock artist that I want to talk about is Judas Priest's Rob Halford. He accidentally came out in an interview, MTV interview, back in 1998. He didn't mean to, but he was being asked about the rumours and all the speculation about him because he expressed himself through his clothing on stage a lot, and there was a lot of speculation, and he just responds, I think that most people know that I've been a gay man all of my life. And it was very much just a mic drop moment. It was sort of a, did he just say that moment, apparently. Imagine being in that room when you hear that. It must have been amazing. And it must have been so amazing for him to get off his chest and just be like, yep, this is me. Because I feel like that's what everyone who's different, that's what they want to do. The best thing in the world is being able to be accepted and to accept yourself. And it seems like he's really, really gone down that path. He also spoke about how back in the 70s, he didn't want to upset his family, friends, band, record company, and his fans if he were to have come out back then. So even back then in the 70s, he knew, and he waited until 1998 to come out. And I mean, props to him for just owning who he is and saying it, even if it was accidentally saying it. And speaking of coming out, Rob Halford would come out on his motorbike on stage at the beginning of Hellbent for Leather, which is another brilliant Judas Priest song, at their concerts. My dad told me this. Can get plenty of rock anecdotes or music anecdotes from my father. It must be such an amazing live experience. Rock concerts in general are just brilliant to go to. The atmosphere is so different to like a pop concert or any kind of other music because there's just so much energy in the crowd. You could sort of like feel the energy around you. And I would love to go to more rock concerts, but honestly, I haven't got the money. But it must be such an amazing live experience to see something like that, as with Eddie, the big animatronic, the big like skeleton guy who's on the front of all of Iron Maiden's album covers. They bring him out on stage, this massive animatronic of him, and I'd love to see that as well. But we have someone who's written in who has said, my favourite rock concert experience would have to be when I saw Inhaler at Leeds Fest last summer. For sure one of the best moments of my life. And that's from Lucas, who's from Bexley. We also have Angie from Strood, yet again. Avid listener, apparently. My best concert was when I saw Bon Jovi at Milton Keynes Bowl back in 1993. It was my first stadium concert and the atmosphere was amazing. I mean, Bon Jovi must be amazing live. They must have been brilliant. Milton Keynes Bowl looks like a great venue to go to as well. And seeing them back in 1993, I mean, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of people who are older than me because they've had more time to go and see amazing acts. Yeah, I mean, Bon Jovi, though, that must have been a brilliant experience. And Will from Strood has said, my favourite queer artist is Girl in Red, and my favourite rock concert experience was the mosh pit when I saw Kasabian. I have also seen Girl in Red, and she was outstanding. And yeah, the mosh pit when you saw Kasabian, personally, mosh pits are very, very scary. So, but I can appreciate why you would enjoy that so much because that still sounds amazing. Kasabian are a brilliant band. Might play some of them on my next show actually as well. Who knows? But yeah, and Girl in Red, lesbian icon. So don't forget to send in your favourite queer rock artist. Who to you is iconic? Who's an iconic queer rock artist? Or who's one that maybe lots of people haven't heard of? Who knows? Depends. But yeah, I'd love to find out some more niche ones as well. Broaden music knowledge. Let us know what your favourite Green Day song is. And yeah, your best rock concert experience. I loved it. I love these stories. Keep them coming. So that's TALEA_H_NKC Media on Instagram. So, talking about queer icons, gay icons, someone you may not know is a gay icon is Faith No More's keyboardist, Roddy Bottum. Now, pretty sure lots of people, you know who Faith No More is. But if you don't, I would heavily recommend listening to them. They're outstanding. Their most known song is Epic, which is epic. It's the best way to describe it. Outstanding. But yeah, they're brilliant. And Roddy Bottum, he came out as gay in an interview with Advocate, who are a queer publication, in 1993. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that makes him the first openly gay rock star. Before that, no one in the rock world had really come out to be openly queer. And they may well have been before that, but that's why we like to use openly gay. Because, yeah, people beforehand may have also been gay, but they weren't out, it wasn't known. So yeah, he was the first openly gay rock star. And I remember reading an interview where he said it was so freeing to say it, to be out and proud and loud about it. But yeah, I mean, props to literally everyone who can, is brave enough to come out, but also to anyone who doesn't want to come out, doesn't feel like it's safe, or just would rather not be out to everyone. That's also completely fine. I think we have this idea of coming out, it's such a big celebration, but just be yourself. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Just be yourself, listen to good music. It's always a way to cheer yourself up. And speaking of good music, this is another iconic Faith No More track, and this is From Out of Nowhere by Faith No More.
North Kent's community station, Miskin Radio.
I mean, that is just such an amazing song. Brilliant song. This is Miskin Radio, soon to be rebranded to Amp Radio, so look out for the rebranding. This is Rock Revolution, and I'm your host, Talea Harding, looking at queer rock, and you just heard Faith No More's From Out of Nowhere. So yeah, Roddy Bottum from Faith No More. I highly recommend doing a little bit of Googling into his kind of journey and the interview that he did where he came out, because it's a really, really just interesting read. Yeah, it's brilliant. So, another pun intended epic band, I'm sorry, I apologise, is Green Day. Hence why I was asking, send in your Green Day song, send in your favourites, because I can't not include Green Day here. Frontman Billy Joe Armstrong is bisexual. Some may know this, some may not. Completely fine. He came out as bisexual back in 1995, so only a couple years after Roddy, and a few years before Rob Halford of Judas Priest. He came out in an interview and he said, "They say it's taboo. It's ingrained in our heads that it's bad, when it's not bad at all. It's a very beautiful thing," which I just agree with 100%. It's always been bisexuality has been a bit more of like a hush-hush topic for people, because lots of people see it as like one way or another. Blondie. I can't help myself. I'm really sorry. But yeah, you either see it as like gay, straight, but it's such a spectrum. You don't just have red and blue. You have all these beautiful shades of purple in the middle. That's how I like to describe sexuality. It's so fluid. And yeah, it's not taboo. And I just think Billy is such an amazing role model, an amazing bisexual role model icon. And actually, he recently did an interview with People magazine where he said he loves being called a bisexual icon by like the younger generations, like Gen Z, my kind of generation, Gen X as well. And he says, I'm going to have to redact some of this, but he says, "I like it. I think it's effing cool that someone calls me a bisexual icon. I've seen that before. I'm like, F yeah." And he also stands up for the transgender community as well. He's said about just let your kids be your kids. Why would you be afraid of your own children? Because that's how he views people who aren't supportive of trans people, trans kids, but just trans people in general. They deserve to live their own life, in my opinion, and in Billy's opinion as well. So yeah, I just think he's amazing. He stands up for the community, for everyone in the community, even the plus. And yeah, he's just an absolute amazing person. So I want to know what your favourite Green Day song is. Please tell me. I may play one in the next show. Just send in your requests. I've got all my tracks lined up for tonight, but send in your requests. I'd love to know what songs you want to hear, what rock songs you want on Rock Revolution, because I'm trying to collect a huge range of rock, loads of different subgenres. So even if you've got a niche one, let me know, request it, and you might hear it soon. So, favourite Green Day song. One of my new favourites is Bobby Socks. It's off their new album called Saviours. And Green Day have actually described it as a queer sing-along. It really celebrates bisexuality. It celebrates Billy's bisexuality and just bisexuality in general. So, yeah, definitely Google the lyrics so you can sing along to it, because it's been dubbed a queer sing-along. I can guarantee you I'm going to be sat here in the studio singing along to it, but I might need to get the lyrics up too. So come join me, have a mini karaoke session in the car, at home, wherever you are. Have a little karaoke session, sing along to it. So this is Bobby Socks by Green Day.
Do you wanna be my girlfriend? I'll take you to a movie that we've already seen, or sit at home and watch reruns. There's no other place I wanna be.
You're listening to Miskin Radio.
And that was Bobby Socks by Green Day off their new album, which is called Saviours. So, amazing song. You are listening to Miskin, soon to be AMP Radio. Rock Revolution, it's the name of the show. It's my show. I'm Talea Harding. And send in your responses, requests. I want to know what your favourite Green Day song is. I want to know what your favourite queer rock artist is. And I want to know what your favourite or your best rock experience was at a concert. So yeah, keep sending the things in at TALEA_H_NKC Media on Instagram. DM me, comment under the most recent post, and I'll try and read you out. So here we have a lovely long response, which says, my favourite Green Day song is Homecoming. I love the layers and different sections, and it's really fun hearing the other members sing too. It also makes for a great song to put on when you need to wait roughly 10 minutes but don't want to set a timer. And that's from Ezra, who's all the way from Germany, which is just wow. Yeah, I mean, Homecoming is an amazing song. It's pieced together really well. It tells such a good story. And yeah, I do love hearing the other members sing too. It's really fun when you hear another voice and you think, oh, who's that? And then you find out someone else is singing that isn't the lead singer. It's just like, oh, it's that great feeling when you find out for the first time what the other band members' voices sound like when they sing. And your comment about Homecoming being a great song to put on when you need to wait like 10 minutes but don't want to set a timer is, you know, I can relate. My 10-minute timer song is Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf, because it's just under 10 minutes. So again, it's perfect if you don't want to just set a normal timer, because who wants just a little bit of a song at the end? I want the song to be the whole 10 minutes. So yeah, definitely, I mean, Homecoming is a great choice. It's an amazing song. One song that I also think is amazing by Green Day is Coming Clean. It's off Dookie, all the way back to 1994 we're going now. I think it was their second album. It's brilliant. It's quite a short song, but it really hits you. It's a really punchy song. The lyrics are also about bisexuality, but more about hidden bisexuality and the struggles queer people face when it comes to coming out and being openly queer, especially being a teenager. It's all about that, all about the struggles of being a young queer teen, especially written back in the 90s as well. It must have been so much more difficult than it is now to be openly queer, yet people still fought and they still, you know, owned themselves and really, really, really just always done the community proud. But yeah, Coming Clean, it's the perfect song to close the show with. But before that, I'm gonna introduce you to a lovely little band called Fizz. Now, Fizz are described on their Spotify bio. They wrote this themselves. They are born out of love and blind optimism. They came together in a whirlwind of pure joy and escapism, inverting everything each artist knew about making music to produce new songs with fun and a love of the craft at its core. Which I think is such a almost poetic way to describe your band, which, I mean, that in itself shows that they're amazing lyricists. But yeah, if you've heard of a singer called Dodie, she's been making music for quite a while now. I think she started off at YouTube, posting her songs to YouTube, and she's become bigger and bigger and more just so amazing. And she's known as a bisexual icon as well. And she's actually in this band. She's in Fizz. They formed quite recently, and they've got such a different sound. I absolutely adore them. It's a really new and fresh sound to what I think queer rock already has. They really, really bring a new sort of perspective. So I'm obviously going to play them because I'm not going to sing their praises without playing them. I really hope this show has introduced you to at least one new queer rock artist that you didn't know about until today. That was my intention, which is why I put a couple more niche bands in there that aren't as mainstream yet, but hopefully one day they will reach that. Because I think every band deserves all the recognition they could get. Because in my mind, There is no bad music, it's just down to personal taste. So hopefully you've been introduced to at least one new queer rock artist or even just a new song today that you like. I will encourage you to carry on listening to these artists, find new artists. Let me know if you find any new artists, queer or otherwise. I'd love to know. Play them out on this show maybe. Who knows? And yeah, I thank you very much for listening. I've been Talea Harding. This has been Revolution Rock on Miskin, soon to be AMP Radio. I've not got tired of saying that yet. Here is Green Day with Coming Clean. But before that, we have Fizz with The Secret to Life.
Freshly poured gin and tonic, come your stage, hop up on it. Everybody gather round under some shiny crowd. So listen, you're missing the secret to life. This is the secret to life. My family, no, I'm nothing like them. Perfect, fantastic, despite them. I get upset when you run your mouth, your mouth. You always seem to want to tell me what to do. How would you like it if I held a mirror back at you? This is heroin, it's embarrassing. I'm a freshly squeezed tangerine, double tracking drama queen. I'm your bike, jump right on it. Everybody turn around, sing it now, sing it loud. So listen, you're missing the secret to life. This is the secret to life. You wanna be left behind. This is the secret to
Miskin Radio. Turn it up.
17 and strung out on confusion. Trapped inside a room of disillusion. I found out what it takes to be a man. Now mom and dad will never understand. Secrets call, I'll take us but never forget. Skeletons come to life in my closet.
All the best music, all in one place. Miskin Radio.